Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to have an exclusive video for our trading friends. Most of the time I put videos which is related to mind and self-development. But today I'm going to give you an exclusive video which is basically related to trading. If you're someone who trades in the market, definitely this video will help you to analyze the chart, which are the important locations and all, right? Normally we conduct training, especially the webinar, free webinar on Thursday and Friday. Thursday, we conduct webinar on price action secret. And some Fridays, we conduct webinars on superpower traders. So this is exclusive for those people who trade in the market, who want to become a trader in the market, right? First of all, I want to give a disclaimer that this video is for educational purpose and it never guarantee you any return. These are my studies, which I'm going to just show you, right? And so normally I trade intraday in Nifty, Bank Nifty, and crude oil, and especially in options. So today I'm going to show you how price action works in crude oil, right? So without much explanation, let us directly go to the chart and let me show you how it works. I'll open a chart. So you can see my chart here. This is basically crude. So as I told, normally I trade in Nifty, Bank Nifty, and crude oil. So the first and most important in a price action trading is you mark the locations, because price, people think that price is a king. But I must say that price is not king all the time. Price is king only at the right location, right? So we normally identify first the location. So whenever the price actually start acting at the right location, we take trades, right? So you can see this is crude oil. So I have actually taken it from, I'm going to show you from 9th January onwards. So 1 week chart, I'm going to show you how normally I do my analysis, right? So you can see in Nifty and Bank Nifty, normally I trade using 5-minute chart, and in crude oil, I normally prefer 30-minute charts. So there is no secret or there is nothing behind this. It's all up to my comfort level. So there are traders and successful traders in the market who normally trades with 5 minutes or sometimes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. It's all up to the individual, right? So this is what the most comfortable time frame for crude oil for me, because crude oil normally it starts from morning 9 to until night 11:55. We have trading hours. So normally I do my analysis with 30-minute chart in crude oil. But since Nifty and Bank Nifty, the time frame is very less, I prefer to trade with the 5-minute chart, right? So my first and important activity before a market open is to mark the locations, right? I've already marked. I'll just show you. So never, it's my suggestion, never trade just looking into the short-term chart. First, go to a long-term chart and see how is the trend, right? So I prefer first to go to a 1-day chart. I'll just show you how daily chart works. So you can see some lines which I marked. Forget about it. I'll tell you which are why these lines are important. See, you can see the blue lines. These are important locations, right? So important locations from the historical chart. So I went back and checked whichever the place. See, for example, here you see there was a huge selling, and when it reaches this level, the buying started. The people started buying. And almost at similar level, this time also, it was actually given a buy opportunity, right? So this location, almost this location is powerful location for me, right? And like that, I have marked all, actually, especially speaking, it's a swing high and swing low. Okay, these are very important location in my long-term chart. So you can just reduce the size so that you can see these are very important location for me, right? So I know today the market is almost the closed. On Friday, I'm talking about 6th January. It closed around 6146 level. So near to those locations, I have already marked it, right? And you can see also a red lines, 2 red lines, right? So this is another very important point, especially in crude. Market doesn't like gaps. So here, whenever crude makes gap, I mark it with a red line. and this is a very important location for me, right? I'll be showing in when we look into the long short-term chart, right? Now, so I have marked now my swing high and swing low. Then I have marked gaps, all important levels, basically wherever the buying opportunity, buying or selling had happened, right? Now I'll go back to 30 minutes and I will show you how basically this works. All right, yeah. Now I have, you can see in the short time chart, basically you can see I have marked a zone. See, this zone is important for me. See, whenever the price comes to this level, it actually, there was a buying interest, right? And one time there was a break, and from there again it recovered, right? And I'll tell you later, if time allows, I'll tell you why there was a buying interest happened, because that was also an important zone for us, right? Previously, exactly at this location, the long-term chart, basically on 16th of February, there was a swing low almost near to that level. When the market comes, see, you can see that it never closed below that, right? When it created a weeks, from there, there was a huge buying happening, right? So this entire location is a very important location for me, right? It is a buying zone. I mean, whenever the price comes to that level, there is some buying interest is getting created, right? Apart from that, I have my pivots. You can see R1, R2, R3, S1, S2, S3, and my most favorite indicator or pivot, which is called CPR, right? Central Pivot Range. People who attended my free webinar on Thursday understand what is CPR, what is pivot, all these things, right? And apart from that, I use 20 EMA, 20 exponential moving average, right? 20 days exponential moving average. These are things I normally keep it in my chart. And these all settings I do before the market opens, so that after market opens, I don't have to change anything, right? And of course, I watch previous days high and low, which is also very important location for me, right? But that I do in the live market time. Now, this is a 30-minute chart, right? Now, let me play it. I'm going to play the chart, right? And today is 16th of January. Today, the market is live. Already, the market is live. So I'll show you in today's chart also what is the current position, right? And again, I want to tell you that there is nothing I'm guaranteeing you. I'm just showing you my analysis, right? Okay. Now, so it was on Friday's closing, what is showing here. Now we are going to play it. Okay. Now, if you see on 9th January, the first candle, if you see it is a small, rocket candle and an elephant candle. People who attended my webinar understand it. It's a small rocket candle. Again, it took a support at a CPR and it started slightly going up, and all the 2 hours candle, if you see, it's clearly showing a slight bullish trend, right? But it's should we buy? I don't know, because we have like a resistance on here, right? So I'm just not suggesting to buy right now, because the risk reward ratio will not favor to us, right? See, the most important part in trading is not a chart analysis or a price action. The most important thing is managing your mind and managing your money, right? This is the most important part in any trading. If you really want to become successful, I definitely tell you that first, learn how to manage your mind, how to attract wealth, how to program subconscious mind, then actually learn money management rules, then do the analysis, right? Analysis is also important part, but most important part is managing your mind and money, right? So now let us play again. Let us continue it, right? It's going up. It's going up. So now if you see, yeah, it broke, right? It broke with a big candle and it's almost at the previous day's high, right? This is also an important location for us, right? So the first candle, whatever it showed, it was a buying signal, even though I didn't take any trades, because overall trend was in the long-term chart. If you see, overall trend was not favoring. And so I was slightly conservative. So I waited. But here, if you see, it has given you a very good buying signal. And it is not a pattern also for me. Okay, now let us continue. Now it went up again, right? It went up again. Now, if you see, it went to the next location, right? And here, important thing, one, we have a swing high, swing low, and we have weekly pivot here, right? It reached certain point, and it is trading much away from a 20 moving average, which is not a good signal for me. Now, so here, what I want to show you here is, this is one pattern which I discussed during my webinar. Here at this location, the market actually showed you a small resistance, right? And again, it was trying to create a positive impact, but you see again one big green red candle got created. That is actually double top engulfing pattern which we discussed, almost similar to that, right? So if you are selling at this level, at least what I expect is it can go up to this level, right? There, even we can actually expect for a retracement because it's trading much away from a 20 moving average. So let us, if you are selling, at least we can expect it can come up to this level, right? And you must understand the power of the location. Yeah, coming candles, you will understand it. Now, if you see, every time when it reaches this level, it's the sellers are getting activated, right? Sellers are becoming more strong because sellers are very confident that there can be it's a big resistance and there can be much bigger correction. Now it has come to this level, right? It has come to this level, but see at this location again a buying interest happened. Now see the buyers became stronger. Let us see whether because the retracement is now completed here. Now it took a support here and even 20 MA also supporting, but this is a resistance location. So we should not take any trade without a proper breakout. Now let us wait. Now, yeah, this is what another important candle which is showing a big engulfing candle third times, right? It's more than third time. Basically, it's third time happened here, but here it's giving a very clear signal that sellers are very strong, they are powerful, they are dominating right now, and it is a perfect sell for us, right? And up to what level we can actually expect? See, since it's broke this level and it is a huge selling pressure, at least it can come to the CPR range, right? So, okay, now it has come to the CPR range, right? So we, at CPR, this level, which we don't know, but at least it will come to CPR level, right? It has come to CPR level. So it is almost completed the place where it started, right? So this is how the 9th January movement happens in crude, right? Now let us see how it had performed in the on 10th, or that is Tuesday, 10th January 2023. Now we, sorry, yeah. See, it is a first candle, right? First candle breakout happened, first candle breakout strategy, which we discussed during the webinar, but there is no enough space for us to go down, right? It was taking a support and it was playing in between these level. Now, you see, this candle has given you a breakout. Should we go and sell it? But the problem, this is a powerful location, right? This location is a very powerful location. So we must be very careful while selling, because here we have a zone. Here also we have a support zone. So chances are very less it can go much beyond this level, right? Let us see how powerful it is. Now, even though this candle made a low, but it was a green candle, right? Now you see how the buyers are dominating, right? When the price comes to this location, the buyers started dominating it, right? But is it a buy signal? We don't have any pattern like this, right? And you here the first candle, first 1 hour candle high is a resistance zone, right? So let us wait. Now it created a breakout, but we take when the new week came, we take this as a breakout, right? Yeah. People who went through the webinar understand it more clearly, right? Yeah. Now you see it went near to the CPR, but without touching CPR, it started slightly coming down. Yeah. This is again what we need to understand here is when the price came to this same location, how powerful the buyers are. Buyers, with the price, whenever it comes to this zone, buyers are actually dominating, right? So we must understand this is a powerful zone, right? So second time also today, the same day, the second time also when the price came to this level, the buyers became dominant, and there is a huge elephant candle got created. People who attended, I know you will understand what is rocket candle, what is elephant candle, right? And at the right location, you got a elephant candle also. Now, what it is a double bottom, right? It is a buy pattern for us. Now it's a perfect time to buy, right? At least it can go to CPR range minimum. Let us see what happened. Yeah, it went to the CPR range, right? CPR, and there is some, there is some swing high or swing low was there, so that it went to that supply zone, correct? And the market closed almost near to that level, right? And so next day, when there was a CPR, next day the crude opened with a down, right? It was in the negative, and a elephant candle got created, right? It was on 11th January. It is a Wednesday, right? Now, so it is basically slightly a sell, but at the end of the candle, if you see, there was a small buying interest happened, but next two candles were actually negative. See, here we don't have enough room to go sell because there is a support zone, right? Now, interestingly you need to monitor is, see, the price came to the same zone, near to the zone. See how the buyers are getting strong, right? They're becoming stronger and stronger. Now the price started moving up. Now, this is a CPR breakout pattern. People who went through the main course understand CPR breakout pattern. It's a buy pattern for us, right? Yeah. And especially when it got retraced, it's a good one. So see, it created a buy, right? And even if you see every time it is creating an intraday new highs. It's breaking the previous highs and creating a new high. And even it broke previous day's high. That's very important one for us, right? So it is giving you a clear indication of a buy day, right? And one more thing we can understand it. See, market was almost, if you take into a daily chart, it was almost a sideways. It was not actually going anywhere. So there is high probability it can be a trending day, right? Even though our CPR is not telling us a trending day, it's average CPR, but still, according to the previous day's analysis, we must understand that it can be a trending day. Never go short at this level, right? Instead of that, even we can short a put option, okay? See, price came down, right? And it was a continuous up, right? The CPR breakout pattern. Okay, now, so now what should be understood by this, right? It was a perfect buy signal for us, right? It was a CPR breakout. When the retracement happens, it is a very good buy signal for us. Keeping stop loss below CPR, it is a buy signal, and it went up, right? Even it didn't take any resistance this level. It gave a very big breakout, and even it broke the previous day's high. And it is a very good buy signal. If people who miss this level, at least this during this level could have again enter it, right? And it went up. And what it is showing is at the closing hours, continuously buyers were dominating, right? Always understand that today's market is a continuation of previous day. And if, especially when you see closing hours, there is a huge buying interest happens. That means that it can continue next day also. Similar way, if there is a selling pressure happen, if you see there was a selling pressure on this day 9th, right? Even it tried to continue on the previous days also, right? So this is a very important thing which we need to notice. So at the end of, during the last couple of hours, how the market is behaving. Is that the sellers are dominating or buyers are dominating? If someone is dominating, there is a high probability that it can actually continue. So it's, again, I want to say that there is nothing guarantee. It's our probability, because market is a probability game. It's not a certainty game. So we must understand that this is just a probability. So we have a probability of going up, right? The buyers may again start dominating, right? Let us see how it is. So the next day, market opened with a small green candle, but again, it was trying to retrace. It created a retracement, but never go short, because we have a CPR here. We have this another swing high, swing low demand zone, and we have another powerful support called pivot, weekly pivot, right? So all these are actually support zone. So even if you get a bearish signal, bearish candle, this location we should not go short, because it's a powerful support zone, right? This entire zone. So at least if it comes below this level, we may try to consider it. Otherwise, till that time, we should not consider it. Now it took a retracement. It is a normal retracement. And from there, see, it's again the 20 EMA is actually crossing a weekly pivot, which is again a pattern discussed during the webinar, right? Now you see how beautifully it's started going up. Now, another important thing, when you get this kind of signal, right? When this kind of signals, you're getting supports. Here we have a lot of support zone. Apart from that, you have 20 EMA crossover. Then one thing we need to understand, there was a gap which was not filled, right? So market has to fill gaps. So there is a high probability of filling the gap, which we normally call it as a gap hunting. So there is high probability of this day to fill the gap. The gap hunting may happen, and see what had happened. Yeah. Now you see market went up to this level. See this level, even though it created a week, it never closed above this, right? So what it's showing, it actually wanted to fill the gap. It filled the gap now, right? Now gap is filled. Now we should not go long at this level. We should wait and watch. Correct? That's what it says. But it was given us a very good level to buy and go catch the trend up to the gap filling. Correct? Now, so gap filling is another pattern normally we discuss, right? So one thing what I want to say you all is, see, to explain historical chart is very easy for me, right? And for you also, when it looks very attractive. But when it comes to market, direct market, it is not so easy, because there our emotions also will start playing, right? So most important part is, first, when you get a trading opportunity, find out your risk reward ratio, and also control emotion properly. Never be greedy, never be with a fear. Always understand that the loss and profit is a part of market, and there can be loss, there can be profit. But then, whenever we make profit, we should have an extra edge with that profit, right? So normally I say 1:2 minimum, 1:2 risk reward ratio, or 1:3 risk reward ratio, right? So why I prefer option is because option selling will give me a theta advantage. And even this kind of, whenever this kind of wick happens, the stop loss will not get triggered. If my stop loss is, let us say, if I am going to give a short here and I am keeping a stop loss above this, there is a high probability sometime it will just hit the stop loss and come down, right? Those kind of thing I can avoid by selling options. That's why I prefer options. Now let us see. See, this is what I told you, how powerful the locations. See, there was a resistance zone, right? Apart from that, there was a gap, right? Now, the gap, actually, this level is almost now covered, right? And now after covering the gap, after hunting the gap, it filled the gap. Now it's again started coming down. So it's not a pattern. This sell coming down is not a pattern. And I'm not suggesting to sell at all the gaps to go short. But this, what I'm telling, this is the power of the location. right? Now, right, the same thing, the closing happened. But here, one thing what we need to understand is, right, at closing, even though there was a selling pressure, but the buyers didn't allow it to go down, right? So there is still buyers also wanted to take control, but again, sellers also almost equally strong there, right? So let us see what had happened on 13th, that is a Friday, January. So okay, another important thing I forgot to tell you about CPR. Even though it was a wide CPR, see, the buying interest was there previous day, and that got continued. So always understand this. I would have told you wide CPR means it is a sideways day during my webinar, but it's all probability gain, right? Yeah. Now, see, the market is here. It's average CPR, right? Or you can say almost narrow CPR. Normally, we said it can be a trending day, but we need to see whether we are getting any pattern, right? Now, if you see market is trading below the CPR, but it is not giving us any signals, right? Any pattern. Now it has given you a pattern. What pattern? Same pattern here. We had one pattern, right? On 11th we had a pattern, CPR breakout. Same pattern it has given you here also, right? And even you see the 20 EM is slightly changing the direction, right? It can cross, right? So it is again a buy opportunity for us. Now where it can go, again we have a zone here, right? These are zones, previous day's high and this zone, especially the previous day's high, right? Let us see what's happening. See, sellers also very strong in that, right? Okay. Now it went up to the previous day's high, and now what we need to understand is previous day high got broke, but not a proper breakout, right? And it took a resistance at R1, right? If somebody would have go long, went long, should actually be careful at this location and giving you, now you see it's again giving a small negative direction, right? But it's not a pattern. I'm telling just the candles, right? Again it came back and taking, right? See, again every time it just tried to break, but these are all what, just a wick. The closing is not happening above that level, right? So this we call it as a false breakout, right? And it is not a signal for us. But now, if you see, it's slightly started taking small up buying interest. But time is again another issue, right? Yeah. Now you see during the entire day, overall the buyers were dominating, right? Buyers were dominating. It created a new high. Every time when it retraced, again it went up and created a new high, right? Buyers were strong in that. But now it should be, we have a support zone here, the CPRs, right? And we should think about this previous day's high. Okay, now this red line we can actually remove it because the gap got covered. So nothing to do with that gap now, right? Once gap is covered, we don't have to mind it now. So the previous day's high is very important, right? Every time previous day's high and low is important. Now let us see what has happening on the current live market. Sorry, it got stopped. Yeah. Now you see the market is live, and here again it came and near to the CPR, it started slight buying interest, right? But this candle closing may decide if it a good bullish candle or if it giving a breakout, it's a buy signal for us. At least up to this zone minimum it can go, right? So that is one indication which we have. Otherwise, we need to wait for a CPR breakout in the downside. But here, one good thing is we have the 20 EMA support. So almost I am expecting currently it will give you a buy opportunity. Maybe especially we can go short in put option, and especially when it breaks, that will be the best level and it can go to this zone, right? But again, we will go back and see on daily chart where we are standing, right? We are on daily chart. You are actually see, when you see it at it's almost a swing it created, it's creating every day new high, right? If at all the high get breaks, then definitely it can go to this zone, 6514, this zone, right, which was previously some swing high swing low zone, right? Then we can again wait for some also we can wait for some resistance 1, resistance 2 level, right? And we should see whether we are getting any candles, any red signal at some particular location. Let us say if this breaks out, then it can go to this zone. From here, it can go to this zone, and from here, it can go to this zone, right? But it's all we can decide only by seeing the price movement, right? Price action is what we need to actually analyze the price, how price is acting at each location. Accordingly, we'll take an action, right? So wait for this opportunity. This candle is created. Now we have actually, it's showing us somebody who want to take a trade with a small risk. They can actually go for a trade, right? We can go short in some put option, and I may also take it and waiting for this breakout. If this breakout happen, it's a clear indication for us. It can go to this level, right? But when we take any trades, always make sure that we take it with the proper risk reward ratio, right? Risk reward ratio is one of the most important thing, and also never mix your emotions with the trades, right? So that's all, friends, in this video. So I will be keep on putting videos on chart analysis and videos related to market also in this channel. So make sure if you're not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel, hit on the like button, comment in the comment box what was your opinion, what was your key takeaway from the video, right? Also share this video with your loved ones so that they can also learn more about price action trading, right? And before winding up, friends, I want to invite you all to my webinar, free webinar. It's a free 2 hours webinar. Every Thursday, we conduct a webinar called Price Action Secrets, right? 7:30 to 9:30 we conduct it. It's one of the very interesting webinar. So I want to invite all you to the masterclass. So the link to register for the masterclass will be there in the description. So click on the link and register for the masterclass. Also, some Fridays we conduct superpower trading. This is also one of the very interesting masterclass, which is basically again 7:30 to 9:30 in the evening. And in that masterclass, normally I teach, apart from the analysis, I teach the mind management importance, money management, all those things we teach in that, right? So I want to invite you to that also. So click on the link, registration link, and register for those masterclasses, right? So thank you very much. Wishing you all a very happy new year and a happy and successful life. Thank you very much.